Selecting the wrong mobile robot provider is one of the major reasons why automation projects fail. That's why in today's episode, we're going to dive into the question on how to select your right partner.
Automation Awakenings, your weekly dose of best practices for logistics automation.
Welcome back to another episode of the Automation Awakenings podcast. Today, again, with myself, Matthias, and with the one and only Oliver Zuchowski. Happy to have you here, Olli.
Sure, always a pleasure.
And it's going to be one of those episodes where your know-how will be most precious. And that's why I'm really looking forward to start into the topic with you.
Yeah, me too. Let's see what I can do for you.
Excellent. In our last episode, we talked about the most common mistakes in automation projects, right?
Yes, I remember.
And we pinpointed selecting the wrong partner as one of the major mistakes you can actually do that will, with a very high probability, lead to a non-successful project, to not really reaching the targets that you had, and most and foremost to really unhappy colleagues, bosses, and sponsors. So in the last episode, we didn't have too much time to dive deeper into it because, of course, the big question is how to avoid this mistake. And that's why today we're going to spare some time to really talk about it. And as I already spoiled, Olli is the guy to answer all of that since he's been working with mobile robots provider for a long time. And you actually have, fought your battles, I assume.
Oh, yeah.
And there is quite some experience that sits with you.
Yeah, Matthias, do you know what's the worst thing about selecting the wrong partner? The later...
No, I know.
You know?
I would say that you only figure out that it's the wrong partner at the end of the project.
Yes, or even later.
And
the issue is, or the worst thing about it is, the later you figure it out, the worse it gets.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and sometimes it leads to costly mistakes.
Yeah, very costly mistakes. So, but let's take it step by step.
All right.
Let's go through the different aspects that you guys should focus on when talking to mobile robots providers, when making your choices, and handing over the mic to you, Olli, in that case. So what is your first, maybe most important aspect that you check when you take a decision on a mobile robots provider?
Yes, I mean, there are many aspects, and I really try to talk about aspects today which help the audience out there.
Yeah.
Which they can also do without maybe a big background knowledge about automation.
Yeah.
And some of these aspects might seem easy, but if you do it properly, they can be a big help. And some of them maybe are not so obvious. So let's start with something very simple, but you can already see a lot out of it if you have the right eye. You open the website of the supplier. That's usually your first contact.
Yeah.
If you are not on an exhibition, that's a different story. Let's come to that later on. But usually you Google, you found your use case, how to transport boxes, pallets, whatever.
Yeah.
How to unload a truck.
Oh,
right?
yeah.
Oh, yeah, with AGVs. Then you find a supplier and you go on the website. You immediately see usually one thing, or you don't see it. Videos. Yeah, that's for me most important. If you have a lot of like 3D sketches,
Animations.
a lot of good uh, texts, marketing words, a lot about the future of automation, dark warehouses. I already get bored, and for me, it's an indication that there might be some issues with this supplier.
Okay.
I want to see real videos. They don't have to be like 4K, best quality, but they need to be real.
You have to be real.
You have to be real, and your videos have to be real.
Yeah.
From real projects. Of course, there might be marketing style where they interview people. That's fine. But I want to see the device running on the shop floor of a customer on the homepage.
Yeah. Yeah, that's already a really good hint, right? And I mean, yeah, I see those pages in front of me actually, with those animated, simulated things or videos, and I exactly know what you mean. It's not very trustworthy. And we do not want to generalize this, right? There might be great suppliers out there with this kind of web pages. Hope not, but there might be.
Sure.
So, so it's not like a total rule, but it's a first important indication for you.
Then, second topic, data sheets. I want to have downloadable data sheets on the homepage. Yeah, you should have a very easy structure of their products. You should see what they offer, maybe also which variants of these products, more weight, less weight, higher, lower, whatever.
Yeah.
But then I just want to have data sheets. And I would say all the professional suppliers offer them directly. You can just click on them. That's the best solution for me. I'm still fine if you need to leave like your email address and name and so on, so they have a contact. Fair.
Yeah.
That's okay. But then I want to receive them immediately.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's actually also a hint for the supplier.
Yeah, guys. Listen closely.
Yeah, I want to see the data sheets, but for me, it's also a sign of openness, and I'm interested in the facts. As a professional automation project leader, I immediately want to know, like, what's the minimum width of the aisle I need to consider.
Yeah.
How high can I lift the height? How heavy is it possible? And all these kind of things.
Yeah.
I don't want to go into a sales call for that.
Yeah. Understood. Okay. So, any other hints or quality hallmarks you can find on the webpage? Or are we done with this very first step?
Maybe last hint for me is that you find a real contact person with a real mail address and number, maybe next to a device or a category of devices. Like, here is Matthias, our expert for forklift AGVs in our company. This is my address, this is my number, call me. Yeah, and not info@matthias.org. Yeah.
Org is more like, I don't know, like churches or something.
Yeah, right.
It would be com, I guess.
Yeah, rather com, yeah.
But yeah, org would be funny.
Yeah, like Scientology.org.
Exactly, like a cult or something,
I'm sure Scientology has real email addresses, I think.
Yeah, you think?
Yeah.
Like you're writing this guy,
Jeff
at Scientology.com. Org, sorry.
Exactly.
Okay. Yeah, because they get they're a great marketing
absolutely
organization.
Yeah,
I mean,
that's all they do.
We don't talk about their faith here and all of the practices they're sitting behind, but they are really great in marketing and convincing people. So, yeah, let's learn from the best, also from Scientology, wherever possible. But let's leave this aside. That's a totally different field. Let's come back to our mobile robots.
Yeah, enough about the website.
Yeah.
I mean, these are all indicators, right? You might have a great supplier with a very bad website.
Yeah.
Unusual, but might happen.
Yeah.
I will go along the, let's say, contact life cycle. So next step, of course, is if you contact them and you usually have a first call, a first pitch.
Yeah.
And also here you can learn so much about the supplier. Let's first have a look on like the basic facts. So usually when they do the presentation, I expect that they show me some key data of the company without asking them.
Okay.
Yeah. So they usually have like a first page, then they say we have this number of employees, revenue, sales, all these key facts. Where are the locations? How are we structured and so on. So this is very important. And really good suppliers show how many mobile robots are in the field.
Ah, yeah.
Or per category or in total, at least in total.
Yeah.
I would like to know it.
Yeah.
If not, you should ask. If they don't know or tell you, somewhere around 20, you can already
Close the call.
close the call, or you are a venture capital investor and you are looking for new startups. Then you can continue.
Okay. Yeah. Understood. Okay, so basically, kind of, collecting you call it track records, right? You want to understand where they come from, what they do, how well they do the stuff in terms of economics, right? Revenue, whatever, growth.
How long are they existing?
How long are they existing? How many
Yeah.
employees, etc. So, okay, good. So we check that. They are solid. They are solid.
They are solid. Good. Then my next topic would be how many customers do they have? Are they allowed to show these customers? I mean, of course, some of them don't want to be mentioned. That's fine.
Yeah.
But at least, I don't know, 3, 4, 5 customers should be visible.
Yeah.
If you are happy with the product, usually you have no problem with putting your logo on their website or PowerPoint pitch deck.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So I want to see customers which I know, some at least I heard about.
Yeah.
Yeah. The bigger the better usually, but also here is a little trap.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was about to say that.
Yeah, there is this trap. You see maybe a big car manufacturer, and then you are like impressed. Wow, they are selling their mobile robots are running at, let's say, Ford Motor Company or whatever, General Motors.
Yeah.
Sometimes a small experimental project is enough. And a convincing or a guy with goodwill on the other side, is enough. Then the logo appears there. So be careful with this trap.
Yeah.
And then ultimately the big question: where can I visit a reference customer with a proper fleet? So also typical question what I always ask. How many mobile robots do we have in the field? How many per customer on average? And then which is the biggest fleet you have I can visit?
Ah, yeah. Yeah, that's interesting. Because this is exactly also where you basically leave the safe space, so to say, of the sales guy, and you start talking to real customers with real experiences, and hopefully with a clear opinion on whether that was great or not that great.
Yeah, absolutely. As soon as they have reference customers, usually
they're great.
They should be okay at least.
Yeah.
Also here, next trap. Especially in there are situations where, for example, companies had invested in a spin-off, in a mobile robot spin-off.
Yeah. Yeah.
Then they sell this company and act as a reference customer.
Yeah.
But actually, it's like using your mobile robots in your facility.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you think it's a big customer, big fleet, but it's kind of a fake customer. It's like homemade, a homemade customer.
Yeah. So that's why the steps you hopefully did before by really doing research, checking the website, roasting the sales guy
Exactly.
in the pitch should provide you this information that this is a spin-off of, I don't know, say VW, okay? Just to name something.
Yeah.
And this is exactly where you should then really be careful with the trap that Ollie mentioned, to not get the wrong impression here.
I have another question for you. For if you would like to roast or
Yeah.
barbecue the sales guy. I mean, it depends on the company and so on. But if it's big enough, I like to ask, how many mobile robots are you using in your own facilities?
Ah, okay. You basically turn it around, flip it around,
Yeah.
and see how happy they are themselves with their own product.
And believe it or not, the majority of them are not using a single one.
Yeah, that's also interesting.
Yeah, they should, because it's weird, right?
Yeah, of course. I mean, if you have a great product, you would use it also yourself. I bet at Apple, there is not one employee who's using a Windows laptop.
Yes.
All of them have Apple laptops with iOS, whatever, Snow Leopard. I don't know how the operating system is called at the moment, but all of them will have Apple products.
For sure. I mean, imagine Ola Kalenius, the CEO of Daimler, is seen somewhere on the highway with the BMW.
They had this really nice,
Yeah, with
nice
Dieter
spot,
Zetsche, yes.
with the former CEO when he retired, and
It was hilarious.
then him
yeah.
riding out of the garage with a vintage, I think BMW or something.
Yeah, cool.
So it was a really funny and nice way to say goodbye from BMW. Either way,
Yeah, it sounds funny, but imagine you are at the forklift AGV supplier and they're not using one of their forklift AGVs.
yeah,
And you go into their warehouse and there is a classical forklift running around.
yeah,
Weird.
questionable.
Yes.
Good. What's next, Ollie?
Okay, so we are still in the sales call. Yeah, I think these are already most important topics. So I really emphasize a lot this reference customer thing. Next step would be to meet the supplier,
Yeah,
either on its premises or already at the reference customer.
yeah,
Both is possible. I mean, there, yeah, things like I already mentioned. But if you have the chance to visit a reference customer, of course, I would like to speak to the actual project manager of the implementation, not to a communication guy or
yeah,
just a person who is like doing a tour with you.
yeah,
I like to ask for the project engineer.
yeah,
And then you will immediately find out if he's honest or if you fall again into a trap, into a marketing show where everything seems to be perfect. And it's very easy. Just ask him some questions like, what was the biggest obstacle in the project? How did you manage it?
yeah,
How was the collaboration between the supplier and so on?
yeah.
And if they are honest, they tell you also some critical things.
Yeah, I actually think this is a general remark that when people always only talk about great stuff, it's already smelling of a fake or a scam or whatever. So there is no one automation project, and I did a lot of them, which didn't have
Yes.
bumpy stretches where things didn't go wrong. It's simply not possible. So be aware of that and don't walk into the praise trap here. Look for also the bad experiences, the bad things that happened, and I think this is giving you a little bit more security that what is being said is really genuine and actually true in the end.
Yes, I have also a hack for you. Try to isolate yourself and the project manager from the sales guy
Yeah.
of the vendor. Very important.
Yeah.
He will immediately start talking in a different way.
Yeah.
So ask for another coffee, whatever,
Yeah.
or ask him to that you don't know the way to the coffee machine or so, and so on, and then you go with him.
He has all the hacks.
Yes.
Yeah, but it's so true. Um, yeah, my hack is a bit different here. I just talk to them at fairs or at keynotes, whatever. I'm trying to to catch them off guard, so to say. Just bump somewhere into them. Oh, great to see you again. But tell me what's last month we've been at your facility, and there's a couple of questions that are still left. And I think if you pull him out of this dog and pony show, as you called it in the last episode,
Yes.
it's more of a really genuine exchange and discussion. So you can do this, or you collect his contacts and you just call him day after.
Yes, right. That's also smart.
Yeah, just
Yeah,
call him
it's always
or write him on
allowed.
LinkedIn. I don't know, whatever.
Yeah.
Just get in touch with him. Otherwise, and roast him. Not roast him, because he's
No,
a
he's
good
the
guy.
good guy, yeah.
He's a good guy. He's on your side. So just try to build a more convenient environment for him to share even more insights and be even more honest with you. So, yeah.
Yes. One very positive sign is if they extended the fleet. I'm very happy to hear such stories because, of course, you will only extend the fleet if you are happy with your current one. Yeah, I think this is now a good overview on the reference customer visit.
Yeah.
Maybe then, in addition, of course, it's always interesting to invite the vendor to your facility. And in the best case, they bring the salesperson and an additional engineer, or sometimes the sales guy is also the logistics engineer. That's also fine if he has the knowledge. And then you show him your use case, the nut to crack, for him. And usually there it's very obvious if he or she is knowledgeable and can really support you without being in the comfort zone at home or in their facility, but really on site on your shop floor. And you can also ask some questions like how long are they working for this company, how many projects they already did, what were their biggest obstacles, problems in automation, kind of a interview. Maybe don't do it so obvious, but I mean it's allowed.
Yes, of course.
They are applying for a sometimes really big project, so why not interviewing the persons behind?
Sure. And again, you're pulling them out of a certain environment into another environment, and then usually they're used that people are roasting them, maybe.
Exactly.
Now imagine you are the good guy. You invite them, you bring them into a nice coffee lounge first. You have a coffee, you're very nice guy. And this is maybe also where you can open or crack them up a little bit more, because they won't speak to you as a as a veteran sales guy, but more like person to person. I mean, there is veteran sales guys, don't get me wrong here. they are just, they're master of the art. So it doesn't
That's
matter
right.
if you
Yeah.
if you if you serve him champagne or if you make him pay for the water he's buying at your facility. He's always gonna have the same story for you. But many people do react to a bit of kindness, a bit of goodwill, a bit of just really being simply a nice person towards them.
Absolutely. Yeah, I have one thing which I need to mention because it's very important. Before we come to an end, to the end of our podcast, this is the service and spare parts network.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, you should ask this already at the beginning, latest when he's on in your location.
Yeah.
And ask them like in a very practical way.
Yeah.
Not like where are your service facilities, but ask them. Imagine I bought 20 AGVs and now one breaks down.
Yeah.
What will happen now? I cannot fix it. I did my first, second level support thing. All my key users don't know what to do. What will happen now? Do I write an email? Do I have a telephone number? Is there a ticket system?
Mr. Zuchowski, it's very easy. We have 3 different levels of support. We have the one support in 72 hours, and then there is the one with 24 and then with 12.
Okay,
Reaction time, of course.
sounds great. Can you give me the number of the fastest one?
Yes, we have to calculate this still. We are building up a network here in Europe, but 24 hours is something we can guarantee.
Yeah, exactly. Another trap. Yeah, you fall into the service trap. Or when you hear these words like we are building up, soon there will be, these are red flags. Nothing will be there. You'll be served from their local country.
Yeah.
And have fun with that. If you get a service from, I don't know, overseas, this will not work.
Yeah.
Please be careful. And the best move here is to call the number together with the salesperson. That's a real boss move.
Oh, yeah, nice.
Yes.
So here's like the service hotline, and then you just say, okay, let's try it. You just call it, and you see what happens.
Yeah, you just call and say, I have the AGV type XYZ, and I pushed all buttons, and it's black.
Did you pull this move off somewhere already?
Only once.
Okay, how did it go?
It was a disaster.
Well, no trapping with Oliver Zuchowski.
No. Too much bad experience.
Yeah.
Yeah, just call this number.
Yeah.
It's this is my golden hint or hack for this episode.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it's a perfect moment to close this episode. You can call numbers as a golden hack, but you can also listen to the Automation Awakenings podcast next Monday again to provide you with many more hacks, with many more golden bullets. So we're looking forward to welcome you to the next episode. As I said, Monday next week. And until then, we wish you a great rest of the day. Take care and goodbye.
See you.
This was another episode of the Automation Awakenings podcast. Visit us at automation-awakenings.com.